In this podcast episode, Jonathan Jarecki, a pre-medical student and passionate science communicator, explores the crucial yet often overlooked role of natural light exposure in boosting energy, hormonal health, and longevity. Drawing on recent and historic research, he dives into studies linking sun exposure to improved lifespan, metabolic function, and mitochondrial health. Jonathan also introduces the 2026 Light Challenge, a practical program designed to optimize daily light habits for better circadian rhythm, mood, and overall wellness. Jonathan highlights the Southern Sweden Cohort study, tracking almost 30,000 women over 20 years, which found a strong association between sun exposure and longevity. Women who received the most sun lived twice as long as those with the least exposure, showing a clear dose-dependent curve between sun exposure and reduced mortality. While causation cannot be conclusively drawn from this correlational study, the strength of the correlation and dose response offers compelling evidence. Notably, the study also compared sun exposure with smoking habits, illustrating that women who smoked but got ample sun exposure had similar mortality rates to those who smoked and avoided the sun, suggesting sun exposure's powerful protective effect. Jonathan references Dr. Richard Weller's replication of similar findings in a UK cohort of 400,000 individuals, reinforcing that increased sun exposure decreases all-cause mortality. A remarkable triple-blinded study using LED light blankets emitting red and near-infrared light on ICU patients revealed a 30% reduction in length of stay, independent of the patient's admitting diagnosis. This means patients recovered faster simply by receiving targeted light therapy on limbs. Jonathan explains how red and infrared light penetrate the body and stimulate the mitochondria, cellular powerhouses, to produce more ATP, the body's energy currency. This boosts overall mitochondrial function, which is essential for health and recovery. Similar benefits were also observed in hospitalized COVID-19 patients, where red and infrared light reduced hospital stay durations. These findings align with broader research showing better hospital outcomes for patients exposed to natural light via window seating, illustrating how dynamic sunlight supports circadian rhythms and healing. Most people think of melatonin solely as a nighttime, sleep-inducing hormone, but Jonathan discusses emerging research revealing that 95% of melatonin is actually produced within mitochondria across every cell during the day, stimulated by infrared light found abundantly in sunlight. This intracellular melatonin acts as a powerful antioxidant neutralizing reactive oxygen species, ROS, produced by mitochondrial metabolism. This protects the cell from oxidative stress beyond traditional antioxidants like vitamin C or glutathione, with melatonin capable of scavenging up to 10 ROS molecules per molecule. Infrared light stimulation of melatonin synthesis is therefore vital for mitochondrial health and overall cellular function. Jonathan also notes that greenery reflects a high amount of infrared light, meaning that even shade beneath trees can provide this benefit. He hypothesizes that moonlight, rich in infrared wavelengths, might similarly support melatonin production at night in an evolutionary context. Jonathan outlines a beginner-level light optimization challenge focused on simple daily habits. The first recommendation is spending 10 to 30 minutes in unfiltered morning sunlight within an hour of waking, without sunglasses, to receive beneficial blue light wavelengths that regulate circadian rhythms, mood, and alertness. Even cloudy days provide sufficient light exposure. The second step is eating lunch outdoors to expose the body to natural light during food intake, which helps modulate glucose metabolism. Sunlight, especially red and infrared wavelengths, optimizes insulin response and reduces blood glucose spikes regardless of food type. The third step is getting 10 to 30 minutes of unfiltered evening sunlight to anchor circadian rhythms by signaling the approaching night and promoting pineal melatonin production for better sleep. Finally, the beginner challenge encourages dimming indoor lights after sunset and wearing amber-tinted blue light-blocking glasses to minimize melatonin suppression from artificial lighting and screens. Jonathan reviews several compelling studies linking natural and red light exposure to improved metabolic function. One randomized controlled trial showed that shining 670 nm red light on a small portion of the back for 15 minutes before glucose intake significantly dampened the blood glucose spike and increased mitochondrial metabolic activity. Another study with middle-aged adults found that just 10 minutes of sun exposure, face and hands, daily for a week lowered blood glucose by around 30%. More recent research demonstrated that workers exposed to natural light via windows during the day had better glucose regulation, improved circadian gene expression in muscle cells, and enhanced fat oxidation compared to those in windowless, artificially lit environments. These effects highlight the importance of natural sunlight in maintaining healthy circadian rhythms and mitochondrial function, critical for preventing insulin resistance and diabetes. For those ready to deepen their light optimization efforts, Jonathan recommends viewing the sunrise daily. Sunrise offers a unique and rich spectrum of red and infrared light due to Rayleigh scattering, which, beyond circadian benefits, may protect against midday UV damage by boosting mitochondrial antioxidant melatonin production. Next is intentional midday sunbathing 3 to 5 times per week, with careful attention to skin type and gradual exposure to build melanin and reduce sunburn risk. Midday sun provides a higher ratio of UVB, which encourages vitamin D synthesis and skin tanning while minimizing UVA-related skin damage. Jonathan stresses bioindividualization in sun exposure time and skin protection. Lastly, advanced practice includes eliminating overhead lighting at night and replacing it with dim, amber-hued incandescent bulbs placed at or below eye level. Incandescent bulbs produce longer wavelengths similar to firelight, which suppress melatonin less and even emit beneficial infrared light. This lighting aligns with evolutionary adaptations to nighttime environments and supports mitochondrial and neurological health. Jonathan advises minimizing exposure to harsh blue and green light at night from LEDs and screens. He recommends dimming indoor lights after sunset and using amber-tinted blue light-blocking glasses to preserve endogenous melatonin production and promote relaxation before sleep. He also highlights smartphone features like iPhone's night shift and color filters, which shift the screen's color temperature to warmer tones, reducing melatonin suppression. These small adjustments improve sleep quality and overall circadian alignment. Jonathan emphasizes authenticity over gimmicks, cautioning against ineffective clear blue light blockers and encouraging real amber tints. Jonathan shares how he was raised in a holistic home environment where sunlight exposure and natural health modalities like infrared saunas were valued from an early age. Following the death of his father 3 years ago, he was motivated to dive deeply into the science behind lifestyle interventions to preserve health. As a biology major and neuroscience minor on a pre-medical track, he balances rigorous academic study with science communication on social media. His goal is to make complex research accessible, encouraging the public to adopt simple yet impactful daily habits around natural light to improve health and longevity. Throughout the discussion, Jonathan connects how natural light, particularly at the appropriate doses and times, optimizes the circadian system, boosts mitochondrial energy production, enhances metabolic regulation, supports antioxidant defenses via melatonin, and potentially reduces lethal diseases. The contrast between artificial lighting environments and natural sunlight is stark, and he advocates for resetting light habits in modern lifestyles to reclaim evolutionary-aligned health benefits. This episode strikes a resonant chord for many facing chronic metabolic and sleep disturbances in artificially lit, indoor-centric lives.